I stood outside Pattaya police station in the sweltering March heat, watching through the glass doors as Pimchanak Pim Theorat was processed for arrest. She was crying, pleading with the officers in rapid Thai, occasionally glancing toward where I stood with the investigator I'd hired. When her eyes met mine, the tears stopped for just a moment, replaced by something cold and hateful. 3 months earlier, I'd held this woman in my arms, believing she loved me. I'd transferred nearly 800,000 baht, about 17,000 pounds to her over the course of 3 weeks, convinced I was helping the woman I'd fallen for build a better life. I'd promised to leave my wife for her. I'd told her I'd come back to Thailand permanently and we'd build a life together. Now, my wife Helen had filed for divorce, taking our house and half our business. My reputation in Manchester was destroyed. Friends knew what I'd done. Clients whispered about it. My own children wouldn't speak to me. I'd lost my marriage, my money, my dignity, and my family, all for a woman who'd been running the same scam on multiple men simultaneously. But Pim had made one critical mistake. She'd underestimated how far a humiliated, angry man would go for revenge. She'd thought I'd slink back to England, lick my wounds, and disappear like all her other victims. Instead, I'd hired a private investigator who uncovered her entire operation. I'd gathered evidence of fraud, tracked down other victims, documented her pattern of scams, and brought everything to the Thai tourist police with a case they couldn't ignore. Now, Pim was being arrested for fraud and extortion. She'd receive a 3-year suspended sentence and be ordered to pay partial restitution to multiple victims. Her face and real name would be documented in police records and expat warning forums. Her ability to continue scamming would be severely limited. I'd lost everything: my marriage, my money, my family's respect, but I'd be damned if I let her walk away without consequences. My name is David Collingwood. Everyone calls me Dave. I'm 52 years old, from Manchester, England. I own a small construction supplies business that I'd built over 25 years. And this is how a 3-week vacation to Thailand destroyed my entire life. If you've been enjoying the stories I create, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Your support is crucial for the growth of this channel and helps me dedicate time to making these videos despite my commitment to a full-time job. Thank you for being here. To understand how catastrophically stupid my decisions were, you need to know who I was before December. I was a successful small business owner, married for 24 years, father of 2 grown children, respected in my community. I was the last person anyone would expect to have a midlife crisis in Thailand. I'd built Collingwood Construction Supplies from nothing, started with a van and a mobile phone at 27, grew it into a proper business with a warehouse, 3 delivery trucks, and 8 employees. We supplied building materials to contractors across Manchester and the surrounding areas. It wasn't glamorous, but it was profitable and stable. My wife Helen had worked alongside me for the first 10 years, managing the books and customer relations. Once the business was established and the kids were grown, she'd taken a job at a primary school as a teaching assistant. She loved working with children, and it gave her purpose beyond our business and marriage. We'd been good partners, built something real together, raised 2 kids, Emma, 23, working as a nurse in London, and Jake, 20, at university in Leeds. We had a nice 4-bedroom house in a decent neighborhood, paid off the mortgage, had about 600,000 pounds in combined assets between the business, property, and savings. On paper, we were successful, comfortable, secure. But the truth was, Helen and I hadn't really been happy for years. We'd grown into different people. She wanted adventure, travel, social activities, experiences. I wanted routine, stability, predictability. She'd suggest trips abroad. I'd make excuses about work. She'd want to go out with friends. I'd rather stay home watching football. We weren't fighting. We weren't hostile. We were just existing in parallel. Roommates with shared history, but no real connection anymore. By my early 50s, I was feeling restless, trapped. The business was running smoothly, almost too smoothly. The same clients, the same orders, the same routine week after week. My kids were grown and didn't need me. My marriage was functional but emotionally empty. I felt invisible, irrelevant, like I was just going through motions until I died. That's the headspace I was in when my mate Craig suggested I take a solo holiday. Craig had gone to Thailand the year before, came back with stories about the beaches, the food, the nightlife, the friendly women. He showed me photos of himself looking tanned and happy, drink in hand, surrounded by smiling Thai women in bikinis. "Best holiday of my life, Dave," he'd said over pints one evening in November. "You should go. Get away from the business for a bit, away from the routine. Just enjoy yourself for once." "What about Helen?" I'd asked. He'd shrugged. "Take her with you if you want. Or go solo. Just go somewhere warm, mate. You look knackered. You need a break." The idea took root. A break, time away, somewhere completely different from Manchester's gray skies and endless routine. I suggested it to Helen, a holiday together, maybe Thailand or Bali. She was enthusiastic at first, started looking at resorts and flights, but then I mentioned wanting to go in December, during our busiest season at the business. "I can't take 3 weeks off in December," she'd said. "The school Christmas play is then, and I've already committed to helping organize it." "Come for 1 week then," I'd offered. "That's a long way to go for 1 week. And expensive. Why don't we do a proper holiday next summer, somewhere in Europe?" The discussion had ended there. Helen was right logically. Summer made more sense. But I didn't want logical. I wanted escape. I wanted to feel something other than the dull, gray sameness of my life. So in late November, I booked the trip myself. 3 weeks in Thailand, starting mid-December. Flight to Bangkok, a few days there. Then down to Pattaya for 2 weeks, finishing with a few days in Phuket before flying home. Helen was supportive. "Enjoy yourself, love. You deserve a break. Maybe the time apart will be good for us, too. Give us both a chance to miss each other." I'd agreed, but I knew neither of us really believed we'd miss each other. We'd just gotten too comfortable being apart even while living in the same house. I packed my bags in mid-December, kissed Helen goodbye at Manchester Airport, and boarded a flight to Bangkok with a mixture of excitement and vague guilt. I told myself I just wanted a holiday, just wanted some sunshine and relaxation and time away from routine. I was lying to myself. I wanted adventure. I wanted to feel desired again. I wanted to be someone other than 52-year-old Dave from Manchester, who spent his days ordering plasterboard and his evenings on the couch, watching television. I wanted to feel alive. Thailand was about to grant that wish in the worst possible way. Bangkok in December was hot, chaotic, and overwhelming in the best possible way. Stepping out of the airport into the humidity, the noise, the smell of street food and exhaust fumes, it felt like entering a different world entirely. I'd booked a hotel in Sukhumvit, a busy area popular with tourists and expats. For 3 days, I played tourist, visited the Grand Palace, took a boat tour of the canals, ate street food, wandered through markets, marveled at the temples with their golden spires and intricate details. Everything was cheap. A full meal for £3, a beer for less than £2, a massage for £8. My money went so much further than in Manchester. I felt wealthy in a way I never did at home. But I was also lonely, eating meals alone, visiting attractions alone, going back to my hotel room alone. I'd see couples and families, and I'd feel the absence of connection acutely. On my 4th day, I took a bus to Pattaya. Everyone said Pattaya was where the real party was. Beach town, nightlife, bars, entertainment. The bus took about 2 hours through Thai countryside, and I watched rice fields and small towns pass by, wondering what the hell I was doing. I'd booked a hotel near Beach Road, nothing fancy, but clean and affordable at about £30 per night. When I checked in mid-afternoon, I was exhausted from the bus ride. I showered, napped, and woke up around 8 in the evening, hungry and restless. I walked down to Beach Road, found a seafood restaurant with tables overlooking the water, ordered grilled prawns and rice and a large bottle of Chang beer. The sun was setting, turning the sky orange and pink, and I sat there thinking, this was nice, peaceful, exactly what I'd needed. After dinner, I walked along the beach promenade. Music pulsed from the bars lining the street. Neon signs advertised beer, cocktails, girls. Women in tight dresses stood outside bars, calling to passing men. "Hello, handsome. Come have drink. We have beautiful girls." I'd heard about the bar scene in Pattaya. Craig had warned me or encouraged me, depending on interpretation. "The bars are everywhere, mate. Girls everywhere. Just be smart. Don't fall in love. Don't make it complicated." I told myself I was just going to look. Just going to have one beer at a bar, see what the fuss was about, satisfy my curiosity. I chose a bar that looked relatively tame, called Angel Bar, with a thatched roof and open-air seating. I walked in, sat at the bar, ordered a beer. About a dozen women in the bar, most wearing bikinis or short dresses, dancing on a small stage or sitting with customers. One woman behind the bar smiled at me. "Hello! First time in Pattaya?" "Yeah," I said. "Just arrived today." "Welcome. You from England? I love English accent." I nodded, sipping my beer, trying to seem casual. The woman was pretty late 20s, maybe, with long dark hair and a sweet smile. She wore a blue dress, more conservative than what the other girls wore. "My name is Pim," she said, extending her hand. "What is your name?" "Dave," I said, shaking her hand. "Nice to meet you, Dave from England. You are a very handsome man. I like English men. They are polite, not like American men or Australian men. English men are gentle." I laughed, flattered despite knowing this was probably scripted. "You say that to all the English guys?" "No, is true. I really like English men. My dream is to visit London someday, see Big Ben, drink tea, meet the Queen." She giggled. "But Queen is dead now. So, just Big Ben and tea?" Her English was decent, her manner disarming. We talked while I finished my beer. She asked about my work, my family, why I'd come to Thailand. I kept answers, vague, mentioned the business, mentioned wanting a holiday. Didn't mention Helen. "You want another beer?" Pim asked. "I can sit with you. We can talk more. Is okay. I like talking to you." I ordered another beer. She came around from behind the bar, sat on the stool next to mine. She smelled like coconut and flowers. She wasn't touching me or being overtly sexual. Just sitting close, talking, laughing at my jokes. "You are different from other men who come here," she said after a while. "You are nice, respectful, not pushy. I can tell you are a good person." I knew this was part of the game. Knew she was probably told to say things like this, but hearing it felt good anyway. When was the last time Helen had called me handsome, had said I was a good person, had seemed genuinely interested in what I had to say? I stayed at that bar for 3 hours, bought drinks for Pim, tipped generously, felt like a king with a beautiful woman's full attention. When I finally left around midnight, she walked me to the door. "You come back tomorrow?" she asked, touching my arm lightly. "I work here every night. Would be nice to see you again." "Maybe," I said, though I knew I would. "I hope so. I really like you, Dave. Not just because you buy drinks, because you are good man." I walked back to my hotel feeling better than I'd felt in years. Desired, appreciated, seen. I was a married man playing with fire. I told myself I was just having harmless fun, just enjoying attention. Nothing was going to happen. I was lying to myself again. I went back to Angel Bar the next night, and the night after that, and the night after that. Each night I'd sit with Pim, buy her drinks, talk for hours. She'd tell me stories about growing up in Udon Thani, about her family's struggles, about coming to Pattaya to make money to support her younger siblings. "My parents are farmers," she explained on the third night. "Very poor. Cannot pay for my brother and sister to go to university. So I come here, work in bar, send money home every month. Is not easy work. Many men treat me like I am not person. Like I am just thing. But you are different. You see me as real person." She seemed vulnerable when she talked about her family. Her eyes would get sad, her voice quiet. I wanted to comfort her, protect her, make her life easier. "How much do you send home each month?" I asked. "Maybe 15,000 baht. Is all I can save after my rent and food. But is not enough. My brother needs money for university, maybe 50,000 baht per term. My sister needs money for school. My parents need money for medicine. Always something." 15,000 baht was about 300 pounds. 50,000 was 1,000 pounds. Amounts that meant nothing to me, but meant everything to her family. By the 5th night, we'd progressed beyond just sitting in the bar. Pim had invited me to have dinner before she started work. She'd taken me to a small Thai restaurant where locals ate, ordered for me in Thai, paid for the meal herself despite my protests. "You always buy me drinks at bar," she'd said. "Let me do this. I want to treat you nice too." After dinner, we'd walked along the beach. She'd held my hand. We'd sat on the sand watching the waves, and she'd rested her head on my shoulder. "Dave, I need to tell you something," she'd said quietly. I know you are a customer at bar. I know this is my job. But I think I am starting to like you too much. Not just because you kind and generous, because I feel safe with you. Like maybe you really see me. I do see you, Pim. You're smart, funny, beautiful. You deserve better than working in a bar. But this is my life. This is the only way I can make enough money to help my family. I'd kissed her then. She'd kissed me back. Soft, sweet, tentative. Not like the aggressive transactional kisses I'd seen other bar girls giving their customers. This felt real. Come to my room, I'd said. She'd hesitated. Dave, I am not that kind of girl. I not go with customers usually. Only with men I really like. But you are married, man. Yes, I see ring. I'd frozen. I'd forgotten about my wedding ring. I am married, I admitted. But my wife and I, we're not happy. Haven't been for years. This trip was my chance to figure things out. I understand, Pim had said, touching my face gently. Marriage is difficult. I was married too when I was young. He was bad man. Hit me. Cheat on me. I leave him. Now I am alone. But maybe it's better to be alone than with wrong person. That night, she'd come back to my hotel. We'd been together intimately, and it felt like more than just physical. She'd been affectionate, caring, present in a way that Helen hadn't been in years. Afterward, lying in the dark, she'd said, I know you have to go back to England. I know this cannot be forever, but can we just enjoy time together now? Pretend we are boyfriend and girlfriend, just for the time you are here? Yes, I'd said. Yes, we can. Over the next 10 days, Pim and I were inseparable. She'd quit her bar job, said she couldn't work there anymore now that she had feelings for me. Couldn't flirt with other men, couldn't pretend anymore. I told her I'd cover what she would have earned. She'd protested, but I'd insisted. We'd spend days together, exploring Pattaya beach trips, temple visits, restaurants, market shopping. She'd teach me Thai words. I'd tell her about Manchester, about my business, about my life. I'd carefully edited out most details about Helen and the kids. At night, we'd go back to my hotel, make love, fall asleep tangled together. I felt 25 again, felt desired, needed, alive. Dave, I know you must go back to England soon, Pim had said one night, a week before my flight home. But maybe you can come back? Maybe we can continue this? I will come back, I'd promised. I'll figure things out with my wife. I'll come back and we'll be together properly. She'd cried, holding me tight. I never thought I would fall in love with customer, but you are special. You make me believe good men exist. I'd believed it was real. Believed we'd found something extraordinary. Believed I could leave Helen and start over in Thailand with this amazing woman who saw me, appreciated me, loved me. I was a complete fool. The financial requests started small. On our 8th day together, Pim mentioned that her landlord was threatening eviction. She was 2 months behind on rent because she'd been sending all her money home to family. How much do you owe? I'd asked. 25,000 baht. About 500 pounds. But I don't have it. I was going to ask bar owner for advance, but I quit bar for you. Now I don't know what to do. 500 pounds was nothing to me. I'll pay it. You shouldn't have to worry about this. Dave, no. It's too much. I cannot accept. I want to help. You quit the bar because of me. Let me cover your rent, she'd cried, hugged me, thanked me, over and over. We'd gone to her landlord together, a grumpy Thai woman who'd counted the cash carefully and provided a receipt. It felt good, helping Pim, solving her problem. 2 days later, Pim mentioned she wanted to buy something special for her mother's birthday, a gold necklace, a traditional gift in Thai culture that shows respect and love. But gold was expensive. The necklace she wanted was 60,000 baht, about 1,200 pounds. I wish I could buy it for her, Pim had said sadly. But I have no money. Maybe next year. Maybe never. I'll buy it, I'd said. Let's get it for your mother together. Dave, you cannot keep giving me money. It's too much. I feel bad. You're not asking me to give you money. I'm offering. I want your mother to have something nice. You're giving up everything to support your family. You deserve to make them happy. We'd gone to a gold shop in Pattaya. Pim had picked out a beautiful necklace, thick gold chains with traditional Thai designs. The shop owner had weighed it carefully, 62,000 baht, about 1,240 pounds. I'd paid with my credit card. Pim had cried in the shop, attracting attention. You are too good to me. Too generous. How can I ever repay you? You don't need to repay me. Just be with me. But the biggest request came 3 days before I was scheduled to fly home. Pim received a call from her family. Her mother was seriously ill. Emergency hospital visit. Needed surgery. The hospital wouldn't operate without upfront payment. Pim was hysterical. My mother might die, Dave. The hospital wants 400,000 baht before they do surgery. We don't have this money. We have nothing. I don't know what to do. 400,000 baht was about 8,000 pounds. A significant amount, but not impossible. And if her mother really needed surgery? How do you know she needs surgery? I'd asked, trying to stay rational. Have you seen medical reports? My brother sent me photos. She showed me her phone pictures of an older Thai woman in a hospital bed, looking frail and ill, with IV tubes and medical equipment around her. She has stomach problem, maybe cancer. They need to do operation tomorrow. If we don't pay, they will not do it. 8,000 pounds, I'd said slowly. I know is too much. I know I cannot ask you this, but I have no one else. If she dies because I cannot help her, I will never forgive myself. I looked at the photos again. The woman did look genuinely ill. And what kind of man would let his girlfriend's mother die when he had the money to help? I'll transfer the money, I'd said. Give me the hospital's bank account information. She'd hugged me so tightly I could barely breathe. You are saving my mother's life. You are a hero. I will love you forever. I swear I will pay you back. When I can work again, I will pay back every baht. I transferred the money that evening. 400,000 baht from my UK bank account to a Thai bank account Pim provided. She'd said it was her brother's account. The hospital required payment through family member accounts for verification purposes. The money left my account immediately. Pim showed me a message from her brother confirming receipt, confirming the hospital had been paid, confirming surgery was scheduled for the next morning. Thank you, Dave. Thank you so much. My family will be forever grateful. I felt good about it. I'd helped save someone's life. I'd proven to Pim that I was serious about her, about us, about supporting her family. I'd also just been scammed for 8,000 pounds, though I wouldn't realize it for another month. On my last full day in Thailand, Pim and I spent the morning on the beach. She seemed sad, distant, holding my hand but staring at the waves rather than at me. What's wrong? I'd asked. I am scared, Dave. Scared you will go back to England and forget about me. Scared this was just holiday romance for you. Scared I will never see you again. I'm coming back, I'd insisted. I told you. I'll figure things out with Helen. I'll come back, and we'll be together properly. But when? How? Your life is in England. Your business, your wife, your children. I am just bar girl from Pattaya. Why would you choose me? Because you make me happy. Because you see me in a way no one else does. Because I can imagine a life here with you. She'd been quiet for a long time. Then, Dave, I have something to tell you. I have been thinking about my future, about what I want to do with my life. I don't want to go back to bar work. I don't want to depend on men for money. I want my own business, something I can build myself. What kind of business? Small restaurant? Maybe noodle shop or seafood restaurant. Something simple but mine. I have been saving money for years, and I have almost enough. I need maybe 300,000 baht more, about 6,000 pounds. Then I can start. Then I can have real career, real future. 300,000 baht, another 6,000 pounds. If I had my own business, Pim continued carefully, then when you come back, we could build life together properly. I would not be bar girl. I would be business owner. Someone you could be proud of. Someone your family could respect. I'm already proud of you, I'd said. But you know what I mean. Right now, I am nothing. Just girl who works in bar. But if I had my own restaurant, I would be different. We would be different. I understood what she was suggesting. She wanted money to start a business. Money that would supposedly make her respectable, make our relationship legitimate, make it possible for me to leave Helen and move to Thailand without embarrassment. How much time do you need to start the restaurant? I'd asked. The money I need to pay is due next week. There is a location available near Jomtien Beach. Small space, good location, affordable rent. But owner wants commitment payment 300,000 baht for 1 year lease plus renovations and equipment. If I don't pay next week, someone else will take it. Urgency. Limited time window. Opportunity. About to disappear. Classic manipulation tactics I'd recognize now, but couldn't see then. If I help you with this, I'd said slowly, I'm not giving you money as a gift. I'm investing in our future together. In the business we'll run together when I come back. Yes, exactly. We are partners. This is our business, our future. That afternoon, I'd transferred another 300,000 baht, approximately 6,000 pounds, to the same Thai bank account as before. Pim's brother's account, which would supposedly go toward restaurant lease and setup costs. She'd been ecstatic. We'd celebrated with champagne, made love, talked about our future together. She'd shown me pictures of the restaurant location, a small shopfront with open-air seating, perfect for a casual seafood place. She'd described the menu she'd create, the name she'd chosen, Dave and Pim Seafood, the life we'd build together. When you come back, everything will be ready, she'd promised. The restaurant will be open. We will work together every day, build something real together. I love you so much, Dave. You have changed my life. That night, my last night in Thailand, we'd stayed up until dawn talking, making plans, promising to message every day, counting down until I'd return. How long until you come back? She'd asked. Maybe 2 months. I need to sort things with Helen, explain everything, figure out the business arrangements. Then I'll come back and we'll start our life together. She'd cried, holding me tight. I will wait for you. I will work hard on the restaurant. When you come back, you will be so proud of me. I'd flown home to Manchester, believing I'd found my second chance at happiness, believing I'd met someone who truly loved me, believing I was investing in our shared future. Total money transferred to Pim over 3 weeks, approximately 785,000 baht, or about 17,000 pounds. I'd given her nearly 20% of my liquid savings, to a woman I'd known for 17 days, a bar girl from Pattaya who'd told me exactly what I'd wanted to hear. And I'd believed every word. I landed in Manchester on a gray January morning, exhausted from the flight but buzzing with plans. I'd message Pim every day. I'd start divorce proceedings with Helen. I'd make arrangements to spend 6 months per year in Thailand, running the restaurant with Pim while managing my Manchester business remotely. Helen picked me up from the airport. She seemed happy to see me, gave me a hug, asked about the trip. It was good, I'd said carefully. Really good. Eye-opening. Made me think about a lot of things. Well, you look tanned and rested. That's good. Maybe we should plan a proper holiday together this summer. Somewhere nice. I'd nodded noncommittally, feeling guilty, but justified. Helen and I were done. I just needed to find the right time to tell her. For the first week, I maintained the facade. Went to work every day. Came home every evening. Acted like nothing had changed. But I was messaging Pim constantly, morning messages, evening messages, video calls when Helen was asleep. I miss you so much, baby, Pim would say on the video calls. When are you coming back? Soon, I'd promise. Just need to sort everything out here first. The restaurant is doing well. I have started renovations. Soon, it will be beautiful. But I need small amount more money for equipment. Maybe 50,000 baht? 50,000 baht. About 1,000 pounds. I'll send it, I'd said. Just send me the details. Helen found out 2 weeks after I got back. I'd been careless, left my phone unlocked on the kitchen counter while I was in the shower. Helen had picked it up to check the time and seen a message notification from Pim Thailand with a heart emoji. The message said, Miss you, baby husband. Cannot wait for you to come back to me. Restaurant looking so beautiful. You will love it. When I came downstairs, Helen was sitting at the kitchen table, my phone in front of her, her face pale and expressionless. Who is Pim? She'd asked quietly. My stomach dropped. Helen, who? Is Pim? I'd tried to lie at first. She's just someone I met in Thailand. A friend. She's helping me understand Thai culture. A friend who calls you baby husband? A friend you can't wait to get back to? Helen picked up the phone, started scrolling. A friend you've sent nearly 17,000 pounds to in the past month? You're looking at my bank accounts? The bank sent a fraud alert to our joint email because of the large overseas transfers. I called the bank this morning to verify them. 17,000 pounds, Dave, to someone named Pim Theorat in Thailand. She threw the phone at me. It hit my chest and clattered to the floor. How long has this been going on? She demanded. How long have you been cheating on me? Helen, it's not like that. Not like what? You went to Thailand and started sending money to some woman? You call her baby husband. You're planning to go back to her. What part of this is not like that? I'd tried to explain, tried to make her understand that my relationship with her had been dead for years, that we'd just been going through the motions, that I'd found someone who actually made me happy. So, this is my fault? Helen's voice was shaking. I'm not exciting enough, so you go to Thailand and buy yourself a prostitute? She's not a prostitute. She's a good person who was working in a bar because she needed to support her family. Oh my God, Dave. Do you hear yourself? You've been completely scammed. She's a bar girl. This is what they do. They get lonely, stupid foreign men to send them money, and then they disappear. You don't know her. You don't know what we have. What you have is a fantasy. You paid for it and now you think it's real. The argument escalated. I'd said things I regretted, that Helen had stopped caring about me years ago, that our marriage had been dead, that I deserved to be happy. She'd said things she meant that I was pathetic, having a midlife crisis, destroying our family for a woman who was obviously using me. I want a divorce, Helen had said finally, her voice cold and flat. Get out of this house. Tonight. Go stay with your brother or a hotel or I don't care where. But I want you gone. Helen, get out. I'd packed a bag and left. Checked into a Premier Inn near the airport. Spent the night in a generic hotel room. Messages from Pim asking why I wasn't responding, wondering what was wrong. Over the next week, everything fell apart. Helen contacted a solicitor. She wanted the house, her name was on the deed, and she claimed I'd abandoned the marriage. She wanted half the business, half the savings, everything we'd built together. Emma and Jake found out, called me, furious and disappointed. How could you do this to Mum? Emma had demanded. 24 years of marriage? And you throw it away for some woman you met in a bar? Friends found out. The Manchester community is small. Word spread. I'd see people I'd known for years cross the street to avoid me. Clients started canceling orders. My business suffered. And through it all, Pim kept asking for more money. Baby, I am so sorry for your problems with wife, she'd message. But please don't forget about me. Don't forget about our restaurant. I need money for the final equipment. Just 50,000 baht more. 50,000 more. Always just a little more. Always one more urgent need before everything would be perfect. By late February, I'd sent Pim a total of 950,000 baht, about 20,000 pounds. I was staying in a rental flat. My marriage was over. My kids weren't speaking to me, and my business was struggling. And I still believed Pim loved me, until I went back to Thailand to prove everyone wrong. In early March, I flew back to Thailand. I told Pim I was coming, and she'd seemed happy but nervous. Maybe it's better you wait longer, until restaurant is fully ready? But I'd insisted. I needed to see her, needed to see the restaurant, needed to prove to myself and to Helen and the kids that this was real, that I hadn't been scammed, that Pim genuinely loved me. I booked a hotel in Pattaya for 2 weeks. Pim met me at the airport, or rather, she was supposed to. She'd messaged saying she had a family emergency and couldn't meet me. But she'd see me the next day at the hotel. That was the first sign something was wrong. The next day, she arrived at my hotel 3 hours later than planned. She looked different, her hair was different, her clothes were different, she seemed distant. When I tried to hug her, she pulled away slightly. Are you okay? I'd asked. Yes, just tired. Family problems. Is your mother okay? The surgery went well? Yes, she is fine. Recovering. Can I meet her? I'd love to visit your family, see where you grew up. Not now. Maybe later. She is still weak. We spent that afternoon together, but it felt wrong. The easy connection we'd had in December was gone. She kept checking her phone, seemed distracted, didn't want to hold hands or be affectionate. What about the restaurant? I'd asked. Can we go see it? Not today. Still doing renovations. Not ready yet. But I sent you money for renovations 2 months ago. How long does it take? Thailand is slow. Everything takes longer than planned. Maybe next week it will be ready. The next day, she canceled our plans. Family emergency again. Sorry, baby. I will see you tomorrow. She kept putting me off. Always family emergencies, always delays, always excuses. For 5 days, I barely saw her. On the 6th day, I decided to go to Jomtien Beach myself to the address she'd given me for the restaurant location. I took a taxi, found the street, looked for the restaurant. It didn't exist. The address was a massage parlor that had been there for years. No new restaurant, no renovations. Nothing that matched what Pim had described. My hands shook as I called her. Pim, I'm at the Jomtien address you gave me. There's no restaurant here. Silence. Where's the restaurant, Pim? Different address. I gave you wrong one. I will send correct address. Send it now. She sent a different address. I went there. It was a closed shop that had a for rent sign in the window. No restaurant. No Dave and Pim seafood. Nothing. I called her again. This time she didn't answer. I tried for hours. No response. Finally, late that night, she sent a message. Dave, I am sorry. I cannot do this anymore. You are a good man, but this is too complicated. Your wife, your family, your problems. I cannot be reason you lose everything. It's better we stop now. What about the restaurant? What about our plans? There is no restaurant. I am sorry. I was going to start one, but then your wife found out, and everything became complicated, and I don't want to cause more problems for you. Please go back to England. Be with your family. Forget about me. I sent you 20,000 pounds, Pim. Where did that money go? She didn't respond. I tried calling number disconnected. I tried messaging blocked. I went to Angel Bar where I'd met her. They said she didn't work there anymore. Hadn't worked there in months. I spent the next 3 days trying to find her. Went to the address she'd given me for her apartment. Different person lived there. Said they'd never heard of Pim. Went to gold shops, asking if anyone knew her. Blank stares and shrugs. She'd vanished. Taken my 20,000 pounds and disappeared. On the 4th day, at a bar in Pattaya, I was having a beer and telling the bartender my story. He listened with a sympathetic but knowing expression. Mate, you got scammed, he finally said. Classic bar girl scam. Sick mother. Family emergencies. Business investment. They do it to tourists all the time. But she seems so genuine, I'd said miserably. They always do. That's why it works. Look, if you want to find her, there's a private investigator who helps guys in your situation. Here's his card. That's how I met Kun Somchai, the investigator who would change everything. Kun Somchai operated out of a small office near Pattaya police station. He was in his 50s, former Thai police officer, specializing in helping foreign scam victims. He'd seen cases like mine hundreds of times. Your girlfriend, Pim, he said after I explained the situation. She is professional scammer. This is her job. She does this many times. You are not the first. You will not be last unless someone stops her. Can you find her? I'd asked. Yes, probably. But finding her is easy. Getting your money back is almost impossible. She has already spent it or moved it to other accounts. I don't care about the money anymore, I'd lied. I absolutely cared about the money. I just want to know the truth. Was any of it real? No, Kun Somchai said bluntly. None of it was real. Her name might be real. Her age might be real. But the story, the feelings, the family, all fake. The sick mother? Probably not her mother. Maybe a photo from internet or her aunt she pays to pose for pictures. The restaurant investment? Never existed. She takes your money and spends it on her boyfriend. Boyfriend? These girls always have Thai boyfriend. He knows what she does. Maybe even helps her. It's a team operation. That was the moment it fully hit me. I'd destroyed my marriage for a woman who'd been running a con with her actual boyfriend. I'd lost my family, my reputation, and 20,000 pounds for nothing. I want to find her, I'd said. I want her to face consequences. Consequences cost money, Kun Somchai said. Investigation, evidence gathering, police reports, lawyer fees, maybe 50,000 baht total, about 1,000 pounds. Are you willing to pay? 1,000 more pounds to potentially get justice. To make sure Pim faced consequences. To prove I wasn't the pathetic fool everyone thought I was. Do it, I'd said. Kun Somchai worked fast. Within 3 days, he'd found Pim's real information. Her full name was Pimchnak Theararat. She was 29 years old, from Udon Thani province. She'd worked at multiple bars in Pattaya over the past 5 years, always targeting Western tourists, particularly older married men. He found her current address, a rented room at a building near Walking Street. He photographed her going in and out, usually with a Thai man in his early 30s, her actual boyfriend. He found 3 other foreign men who'd been scammed by her in the past year, 1 Australian, 1 German, 1 American. Combined, they'd lost approximately 2 million baht total. None had reported it to police because they were ashamed, because they thought nothing could be done, because they'd already left Thailand. But one of them, the American, had filed a report with tourist police that had gone nowhere because he didn't have enough evidence. We can build a case, Kun Somchai said. Criminal fraud case, not relationship dispute. We have multiple victims, pattern of behavior, documented transfers. Thai police take this seriously if we present it properly. Will she go to prison? Maybe. Maybe suspended sentence. Depends on prosecutor, depends on judge. But she will have criminal record. She will have to pay restitution. She will not be able to continue scamming so easily. It wasn't perfect justice, but it was something. Over the next week, Kun Somchai compiled everything: my bank transfers, Pim's false promises documented in messages, the fake restaurant address, her real address and identity, testimony from other victims, evidence of her repeated scam pattern. We took it all to Pattaya Tourist Police. This time, we didn't frame it as relationship problem. We framed it as organized fraud targeting multiple foreign tourists. The officer who took our report, Lieutenant Sanet, reviewed everything carefully. This is good evidence, very detailed. We can pursue this as criminal case. Will you arrest her? I'd asked. We will bring her in for questioning first. If she confesses, or if evidence is strong enough, we will press charges. But I must be honest, she may try to claim money was gifts, not fraud. Thai courts can be difficult with these cases. We have messages where she promised to use money for specific purposes, Hun Somchai said. She promised restaurant investment, promised to pay back money for her mother's surgery. These are not gifts. These are fraudulent promises. Lieutenant Sanet nodded. Okay, we will proceed. 3 days later, Pim was called to Pattaya police station for questioning. Kun Somchai called me. They are questioning her now. Do you want to be there? Yes, I'd said. Absolutely yes. That's how I ended up standing outside the police station, watching through glass doors as Pim realized her scamming days were over. When Pim saw me standing outside the police station with Kun Somchai, her expression shifted instantly from confused innocence to cold recognition. She knew I'd found her, knew I'd brought evidence, knew she was in trouble. She tried to lie at first, told the police I was her ex-boyfriend who was angry because she'd broken up with him, said all the money was gifts, that I'd given it voluntarily, that we'd had a relationship, and I was now trying to get revenge. But Lieutenant Sanet presented evidence from the other victims. Bank transfers with similar patterns, messages with similar promises, the fake restaurant address I'd been given that didn't match any registered business. This is not one angry ex-boyfriend, Lieutenant Sanet said in Thai, translated by Kun Somchai for my benefit. This is multiple victims over multiple years. This is fraud pattern. This is criminal operation. Pim tried to claim it was all a misunderstanding, that she'd genuinely planned to start a restaurant, that her mother really had been sick, that she'd never intended to deceive anyone. But when confronted with the evidence, screenshots of her telling 3 different men that she loved only them, that they were her special person, that she would start a business with them, she finally broke. Okay, she said in Thai, her voice flat. I did it. They gave me money because they were stupid and lonely. I took it because I needed it. That's how life works. Rich foreigners have money. Poor Thai girls need money. Everyone knows this game. That confession, recorded by police, was damning. She'd admitted to deliberately deceiving multiple victims, admitted to taking money under false pretenses, admitted to systematic fraud. She was arrested and charged with fraud, extortion, and misrepresentation. Because she'd targeted multiple foreign tourists, and it was documented, the charges were taken seriously. The trial was quick. Thai courts move faster than Western ones when evidence is clear. Pim's lawyer tried to argue that this was cultural misunderstanding, that Western men giving money to Thai girlfriends was normal, that there was no criminal intent. But the prosecutor destroyed that argument. The defendant made specific promises about restaurant investments. She provided fake addresses. She claimed money was for medical emergencies that didn't happen. She ran the same scam on multiple victims. This is not cultural difference. This is premeditated fraud. The judge agreed. Pim was found guilty on multiple counts of fraud and extortion. Sentencing was both disappointing and satisfying. She received a 3-year sentence, but it was suspended, meaning she wouldn't go to prison unless she committed another crime. She was also ordered to pay partial restitution to victims, approximately 500,000 baht total, to be split among all of us who'd pressed charges. It wasn't much. I'd lost 20,000 pounds and would get back maybe 2,000. But it was something. And more importantly, she now had a criminal record. Her name was in police files. She was on the radar. Her ability to continue scamming was severely limited. As they led her out of the courtroom, she looked at me one last time. No more tears, no more innocent act, just cold assessment. "You destroyed my life for nothing," she said in English, making sure I understood. "You didn't get your money back. You didn't get your wife back. You just made yourself feel better by punishing me. Was it worth it?" "Yes," I said. "It was absolutely worth it," she smirked. "You are still stupid, Farang. Still pathetic. Still alone. You think you won, but you lost everything." She wasn't wrong, but I'd be damned if I let her have the last word. I returned to Manchester in late March. The divorce was proceeding. Helen was getting the house. I couldn't contest it, given that I'd abandoned the marriage for a woman I'd met in a bar. She was getting half the business too, which meant I'd have to either buy her out or sell. My children weren't speaking to me. Emma had sent one text message: "Hope your Thai girlfriend was worth losing your family." Jake hadn't even bothered with that much. Friends had distanced themselves. Clients had found other suppliers. My reputation in Manchester was destroyed. I'd lost my marriage, my family, my social standing, and £20,000, and all I had to show for it was a Thai court judgment that Pim probably wouldn't pay anyway. But I also had something else. Proof that I'd fought back. Proof that she'd faced consequences. Proof that I wasn't just another pathetic victim who'd slunk away in shame. Kun Sumchai had helped me compile all the evidence and post it in Expat warning forums. Pim's real name, her photo, her scam tactics, her criminal record. Now any man who Googled her name before sending money would find warnings. Her ability to continue scamming was significantly reduced. Other victims thanked me. The American man who'd filed the initial report that went nowhere. The Australian who'd thought he was alone in being scammed. The German who'd been too ashamed to report. They all said the same thing. "Thank you for making sure she faced consequences." It didn't fix my life. Helen wasn't coming back. My kids weren't forgiving me. My reputation wasn't recovering. But I'd done something right in the midst of all the stupid decisions. I'm writing this from a small flat in Manchester, the rental property I moved into after Helen took the house. It's been 6 months since the trial. The divorce is final. The business is being sold. I couldn't afford to buy Helen out, and honestly, I didn't want to anymore. Everything in Manchester reminded me of my failures. I've spent a lot of time reflecting on how catastrophically I destroyed my life. The warning signs I ignored. The lies I told myself, the manipulation I fell for. Here's what I learned. I was vulnerable because I was unhappy. Helen didn't make me cheat. My unhappiness in the marriage made me susceptible to someone who gave me attention and made me feel desired. If I'd fixed my marriage or ended it honestly before going to Thailand, none of this would have happened. Bar girls are professionals. Pim wasn't some innocent village girl who fell in love with me. She was a professional scammer who'd done this dozens of times. She studied lonely Western men, figured out what they wanted to hear, and gave them exactly that until they ran out of money. Love doesn't happen in 2 weeks. Real love takes time. Real relationships build gradually. If someone is declaring love and making future plans within days of meeting, it's manipulation, not romance. Urgency is always a red flag. Every time Pim asked for money, there was urgency. Her mother needed surgery immediately. The restaurant lease had to be paid by next week. The landlord was evicting her tomorrow. Scammers create false urgency to prevent victims from thinking clearly. Verify everything independently. I should have visited the restaurant location before sending money. Should have met her family. Should have verified her sick mother by visiting the hospital. I took her word for everything because I wanted to believe her. The money isn't a gift if you expect something in return. I told myself I was helping Pim, but I was actually buying her affection. I expected her to love me, to stay with me, to build a life with me. That's not a gift, that's a transaction. Married men shouldn't go to Thailand alone looking for adventure. I'm not saying Thailand is inherently dangerous, but going there as a lonely, unhappy married man looking to feel alive again is asking for trouble. If you're that unhappy, fix your marriage or end it first. Pride prevents reporting. The only reason I fought back was because I'd already lost everything and had nothing left to lose. Most men don't report because they're ashamed, because they don't want anyone to know how stupid they were. That shame protects scammers. Fighting back matters. I didn't get my money back. I didn't get my marriage back. but I ensured Pim faced consequences. I helped other victims. I warned future potential targets. That mattered. I lost my wife, my family, my reputation, and 20,000 pounds because I wanted to feel desired. Because I believed a beautiful woman could fall in love with me in 2 weeks. Because I was willing to suspend disbelief when she told me exactly what I wanted to hear. I was 52 years old, successful, intelligent, and I fell for the oldest scam in the book because loneliness and ego made me stupid. If you're reading this and you're in a similar situation, unhappy marriage, thinking about a trip to Thailand, wondering what it would be like to feel alive again, please learn from my mistakes. Fix your relationship honestly or end it honestly before going anywhere. Don't go looking for escape or validation in bars in Pattaya. Don't believe you're immune to manipulation just because you're successful or intelligent. Don't send money to someone you've known for 2 weeks, no matter how good their story sounds. And if you do fall for a scam, report it. Don't suffer in silence. Don't let shame prevent you from fighting back. Document everything. Find other victims. Go to police. Make sure scammers face consequences, even if you can't recover your money. I destroyed my life for a fantasy. But at least I made sure the woman who sold me that fantasy faced justice. That's not redemption, but it's something. If this story has helped you understand how romance scams target vulnerable married men and why fighting back matters even when you can't recover everything you lost, please share it. These stories need to be told to warn others. Remember, if you're unhappy in your marriage, fix it or end it honestly. Don't go to Thailand looking for escape. Don't believe rapid love declarations. Don't send money to someone you barely know. And if you do fall victim, report it immediately. Don't let shame silence you.